Now, back to Jeffrey Wright and Company, live from the Rivard Royal GMC Studios. Rivard Royal, the GMC price leader, has arrived on 92.9 FM ESPN.
All right, Tim. Week 12, the weekly awards. Who was your team of the week?
I guess it's got to be Oklahoma.
See, I went with Georgia, but I understand.
That was my runner-up.
Going on the road, I do. I if you want to say that, that's fine with me.
I mean, it was do or die, right? I mean, the season's not
One
over.
team was a 6-point favorite. The other team was a 6-point underdog. I'm fine with that.
And look, we talked about it already. Did they, air quotes, deserve to win? Probably not, right? They got outgained. The post-game win expectancy of less than 5%. But you went on the road. You beat Alabama. They had the ball late in the game, and they weren't able to do anything, So I'll give it to them because here's the thing. And, they went all in this year, spending the money to get Arbuckle, spending the money to get Mateer, and then now they've got 2 games, and they've got a chance to do 2 games at home, and they're going to the playoff. I mean, it's funny to think, Jeffrey, when we saw the schedule early on in the season, was like, good luck with that schedule. And now
they might be good at 7-5. Like they might be a much improved team and go 7-5.
Exactly. Right. It's like, could they be one of those teams that are better, but the record doesn't show it? Now you're 8-2 and you're facing Missouri with more than likely a backup quarterback and a fired head coach in LSU. So I'll give it to Oklahoma, but I definitely was very impressed by Georgia.
I'm giving it to Georgia for a couple of reasons. Number one, I'm wondering if they flipped a switch. And I think maybe the way that they beat Mississippi State wasn't going to raise too many eyebrows, particularly given how many injuries Mississippi State has had as of late. But the fact that I don't know how you felt watching that game, but the way that I felt was 35-10 felt like about as close as it could have been, because Texas's first drive that they go and get a field goal was they moved the ball decently well, but it was like from that point forward, even on their touchdown drive, they got the short field with the interception. They needed the pass interference call, which I'm not saying was a bad call, but like it was greatly aided by penalty. They could not move the ball at any point during the night. And I think the other part of it for me is, I know we probably say people are dead too soon, but it's like that felt like a kill shot for Texas last night. And I was finally just glad to be done with them.
They were kind of the zombie team, like, well, they've got the Oklahoma win and they've got the Vandy win.
And they have so much talent that you could talk yourself. It wasn't that insane to think like, okay, if they went and won at Georgia and then they won at A&M or they beat A&M at home, like that's not that insane given the level of talent that they have.
No. And look, there are some teams where you feel like you've got a good pulse on them from betting. And then there are teams like Duke where you have terrible bet feels on them. I feel like I've done a pretty good job of recognizing the spots for Texas this year. And the roller coaster with this Texas team is kind of hilarious because in week 1, they were the favorite against Ohio State. I think they ended up closing the underdog at the end. There was late money on Ohio State. But then everybody was out on them going into Red River. And I think we talked about on the show, like, you do realize Mateer's thumb is broken and their offense stinks, right? And then the Vanderbilt game I thought was a buy low opportunity. I didn't touch it last week, and I'm glad I didn't because I was leaning a little bit towards Texas. The market liked them. But Georgia's been one of those teams where all year I'm like, are they really good? I don't know. Are they good? And now I'm like, yeah, they're pretty legit, man. So they've got Charlotte this week. Have you seen the stat about Kirby?
Yeah, Kirby, when favored by 38.5 or more, I believe he is 0-13 against the spread, and currently the number is 44.5. I will say this, for everyone that does believe it's free money, the ultimate unstoppable force versus the immovable object is going to be Charlotte trying to cover 44.5.
You just know it's going to be.
I mean, it is going to be.
It's going to be 45-0. The third stringers are going to be in there, and you're just going to be begging for, who's it, Tim Albin?
Yes.
To kick a field goal. late in the game.
You're going to need the
cover.
You're going to want that UMass field goal that we had last week, where UMass was, what were they down 45-0, and they kicked the field goal and had the fireworks show.
Yes, yeah.
That was.
By the way, UMass. By the way, a 33-point underdog tonight to Ohio.
All right, let's see. Here are the last Charlotte games. 24-7 to Army, 49-14. That's stay inside the number to Temple, 54-20 to North Texas, 48-22 at ECU, 28-7 UTSA. Like, it is that classic. Can you give me a touchdown? Because
That's all you need. If they score a touchdown, they cover.
Because I think you're in that spot with Georgia where you've got Georgia Tech next week and basically just the playoff. Like, and you've just had this grinder. Like, this feels like get the second team out there as fast as possible.
Discussion for another day because we have to go through these awards. Georgia fans would much rather be the number 5 seed than the 4, right?
I think that's very much the case.
You'd rather have a home game against North Texas than play the SEC championship game against A&M.
Well, and I think also, like, yes, it's not apples to apples, but I think Georgia fans, they know obviously the Beck injury was a significant part of it, but I think, like, you know, the layoff and then Notre Dame came in and was much crisper. Like, I do think that there's probably some, I'd rather play that 12. I'd rather play that 12 seed than have another SEC championship. All right, who's
a home game? Yeah,
and the home, and I think that's a huge part. Fans. I think fans saw last year how cool it was to have the home game, and I think everybody wanted to be a part of that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who was your Heisman winner last week?
I mean, we got to be consensus on this one, right? Ahmad Hardy.
So the only other option I was willing to listen to was, I thought, Kewan Lacey.
He was right. Yeah, really good.
Because I do think Florida's defense is better than what Mississippi State's trotting out there right now.
Mississippi State's defense is
but
tragic.
You put up 3 bills. It's kind of tough to sit there and go, that guy didn't win the week.
I mean, I was sitting there. I had it on the thankful quad box prayer emoji, and I'm like, does that say 300 yards?
It was only on like 25 carries.
Just every time I look up, he's sprinting down the field.
But
like,
I will say
God,
this,
man.
I know Ole Miss fans are scared to death of that game next week. Part of why I feel okay for Ole Miss is Kewan Lacey's going to be able to have a good day. And for the record, the reason why Kewan Lacey's at Ole Miss is because Ahmad Hardy is still at Missouri.
That dude, man. To think about, he was in the Sun Belt last year.
Woo, doggies.
Yeah.
Talk about an unfair fight. All right, do you have a dumpster fire of the week? Because I'm unclear
Louisiana Tech's quarterback position.
It's pretty bad.
They played 5 quarterbacks. They had 5 different dudes throwing the football. Louisiana Tech, by the way, lost their starting quarterback the week prior, and they went out to the Palouse because, of course, and it was one of those games where I wish I bet more on Washington State.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. All right. This might be preemptive and this might be early, but I'm fine with that. I'm flagging UCF. They did the whole quietly. Remember, like, they announced that Frost was getting the job again, like, on a Sunday. It felt like they were, like, sneaking it in, and they didn't make, like, a school that will make the biggest deal out of anything, not making a big deal out of that was interesting. And I'm not sure this is going to go well.
Not off to a good start. They did beat North Carolina, though.
They did beat North Carolina, and they do also have they get Oklahoma State this week.
Which, by the way, Kansas State was outgained by Oklahoma State. Maybe they're the dumpster fire. You won, but you were outgained by Oklahoma State.
It was like 13-7.
Ugh, 14-6. Ugh.
All right. Most college football moment of the week.
Oh, the ice cold handshake
with Belichick.
No, well, there's multiple.
All right, so
there was Belichick and Dickert at Wake Forest and UNC.
After Dickert took off his hat as a sign of respect, although he did punch it in late.
Yeah, Belichick called timeout.
I'm with you.
What did you expect him to do?
I'm with you.
But Narduzzi and Freeman. Freeman went up, gave him the handshake, and Narduzzi like went in for the bro hug, and Freeman pulled away and just walked away from him. It's like, I got places to be, man.
He was ready to go celebrate.
Yep.
I also thought about the overzealous cop at Texas A&M. Like that one. But I think I've got to go with the SEC on ABC, going full SEC on CBS, and finding that young brunette and just focusing in on her with
I missed this moment.
Oh, yeah. So the SEC on CBS was notorious for like basically every crowd shot was just finding like every 9 they could in the crowd.
Oh, and, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And it felt like this girl's like now going viral. She has like an Instagram handle, like it's Bailey Bay or something like that. Like
what school?
Georgia. She was rooting for the dogs. Let's just say there were a lot of puppies involved. She did not need any floaties.
Hello.
Yeah. That was a good one. Night just to like have the old SEC on CBS vibes. Could have also gone with the Utah State kicker.
Oh God, boy. that poor guy.
That was tough.
For those who missed that, he missed an extra. So coming into the game, he was perfect on the year on field goals. He missed an extra point, missed a field goal in regulation, missed the field goal that would have won the game at end of regulation, and then missed another field goal at the end of the first overtime.
Correct. Did nail the second overtime one.
Crushed that one, and then first play UNLV scored a touchdown.
Yep. That one was tough.
That was a pretty. I just thought about Matthew Berry. He always opens up college. What is it? College
football
game,
final.
College kicker situation. Yeah, that was a college kicker situation.
All right. Is there anyone that you want to say stock up?
I kind of think Miami. We've gone down this road before, and I'm sure they'll lose to Virginia Tech on Saturday. But I think this team, the way they're playing right now.
Well, I think the key difference to me with why you maybe need to monitor is someone has finally told Mario winning a game by 3. You might think a 3-point win matters. It doesn't. You have to start blowing these teams out.
So you've got 2 games left. Look, going to Pitt the last Saturday of November, it's going to be cold. It is the perfect spot for Cristobal to Cristobal. But I'm going to quietly whisper Miami because I think there's a path here that they get into the playoff. And for this dumpster fire of a conference that is the ACC that we called out weeks ago, and it continues to dumpster fire. Like, how did Georgia Tech, it might be a playoff team. Get out of my playoff. Like, get
They
out.
just can't stop anybody.
Boston College should have beat them. There were some shady calls in that game late. Like, yeah, we can't have this. Yeah, we need Boston College to win this, or we need Georgia Tech to win this game.
Yeah, I'm actually, I know I've already talked about them. I'm ticking Georgia stock up. I think they're kind of rounding into form. I think Kirby might have finally figured this thing out. Like, all right, I don't have to play my best in September, but like, I got the guys peaking at the right time.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's no pushback for me. And where are they in the odds? Are they third? I think they're third in the odds right now to win the title. Let me double check. But yeah, I have no pushback on that. Georgia's odds are shorter or longer than Notre Dame's.
Yeah,
Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, Notre Dame, and then Georgia.
And if you're the 5, you get the 4. You would have to play Ohio State, though. That's kind of the problem.
True, but Notre Dame probably has to play Ohio State in the second round.
Well,
more than likely.
But no, I'm trying to do this math of, would you rather be the 5 than the 6? Because yes, you get the G5 team, but the 6 is going to be either
Georgia
at this
Tech
point Georgia Tech or Virginia. Although I'm not sure, man. I know what Notre Dame did to Pitt. I'm not so sure Georgia Tech can sit there and go that game's a win. Because now I think the problem Georgia would have is falling to the 6 would mean they're not going to rematch them with Georgia Tech. But if you get the 6-11 game, then that puts you into the 3. Like you'd avoid Ohio State.
Still going to be A&M. Or no, A&M's probably the SEC champ. Are you of this mindset?
They get the
SEC
2,
champ
and then the Big Ten will get the 3.
Big Ten loser. Yeah.
I can buy.
You get Indiana.
I can buy that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Georgia, if you're the 6, you face the ACC champ, who could be Miami. If it's Miami, that's not going to be a walk in the park.
Yeah, I think you actually need to see like what happens to Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Stock down for me is I thought North Carolina had turned a corner. They're just so
weekend, baby.
They're so bad on offense, man. Like
they're terrible.
Like they play solid defense, but they're so bad on offense. God, like that game was there for the taking for them. Like I know was it a fumble 6 or a pick 6? Like it was just, I don't know. I've seen Gio Lopez make that play so many times.
I'll give you 2 real quickly. Duke, what are we doing? Just embarrassed by Virginia. I don't know where their head's at. That's why I'm betting North Carolina this week. And then I'm not saying this is your proper way to play stock down, but my guy, Ken Niumatalolo, man, San Jose State was a 9.5-point favorite against Nevada and lost 55-10.
Yeah, that was one of those ones I even thought about throwing on the card because Nevada can't stop anybody. And I'm like,
I talked them up preseason. I'm like, look at this schedule. They could make it all the way. Oh, my God.
All right. What'd you get right?
San Diego State, Boise under. That was for those who didn't stay up late night.
I had to stay up. It was that kind of Saturday.
It was a rain monsoon. And that second half was, if you had the under, oh, man. I swept the board on that game. I had, how about this card? San Diego State money line under 41.5. And I got a little nervous. So I put San Diego State team total under 21 on there. And they all cashed. That game was disgusting.
That game was so gross.
I had that. I had Washington State that came home. And then my Arkansas Razorbacks, baby. Got us to cover.
Another post-game win expectancy.
Another one. They've had 4 this year. Woo Pig Suey, second order wins. I think they should have like 6 on the year, and they have 2, but they got us to cover.
All right. I was all over Notre Dame. That one, and then I got Georgia right. I got San Diego State right because that Boise quarterback. I know his weather, but that kid's terrible.
They don't want him to throw the football.
He's horrible. What I got wrong. I don't know if I was wrong on Minnesota. There were 2 very questionable touchdowns that got Minnesota to cover, that would have gotten Minnesota to cover town. Number 1, the running back fumbled the ball and never clearly regained possession before stepping out. That should have been a touchback. And then the last touchdown was a throw that the guy's ankle is out of bounds, and they said like his cleat was in. Dead wrong. Well, I don't know if I was dead wrong on Alabama, but dead wrong on North Carolina. Dead wrong on Utah. There you
go. Very wrong on Michigan State.
Well, we were till we weren't.
It was 14-10. We were kind of hanging around.
And it was 14. It was 14-7, and they were going to drive him for a touchdown, and they just started like losing it. And then, I mean, yeah, the running backs, but I don't know, like that kid that they brought in to replace Childs, like I get why Aiden Childs won the job out of camp.
Yeah, that one just, I felt good. And then as the week went on, I'm like, I'm probably on the wrong side here. I did end up watching that first half. I took a little Penn State second half to try to land the plane in the middle. So I didn't lose all my money. I felt like I was right until Liam Zarka broke his hand. Air Force, UConn wanted nothing to do with that game in the first half. And then Air Force, their backup quarterback. I got to look it up real quickly. This should have been the dumpster fire of the weekend. Air Force had a drive that lasted 11 minutes and they got no points. And I was like, oh, that's what we're going to do today? Cool. That's fun. Let me look it up just so we have exact numbers here. Their drive late in the first half, 19 plays, 90 yards, 11 minutes and 50 seconds, turnover on downs.
That's tough to do. That's tough because that means you were so efficient all the way down the field until it mattered.
19 plays, 90 yards, almost a full quarter, and you got turned away at the end zone.
All right, let's take a quick break and come back. We get into the list next. Stick around. You're listening to Jeffery, Wright and Company, 92.9 FM, ESPN.
Memphis's flagship home of the Grizzlies, 92.9 FM, ESPN.